Hi, I'm Badu from freefincal. In today's video, let's talk about how much to invest in the Sukanya Samriddhi Yojana along with PPF if I have a girl child. So I have written a couple of posts on the Sukanya Yojana, the SSY Yojana, and I've compared it with PPF. I'll link it here. I've told you how the Yojana was actually meant for the lower income group and to prevent them from marrying the girl off early. And that is the reason why after the girl turns, after the you can only take out 50% for the girl's education, and the account has a lock-in of 21 years. Although the government well knows that the children will be going to college at 17 or 18, they want to keep a lock-in period of 21 years because they want to make sure the parents do not marry the girl off young with that money. They can sell other forms, other sources of money that they can't stop. So the question is, so if I have a girl child, the first question is, should I have both PPF and SSY? And how much should I invest in both? And so let's look at it logically. And the problem is that people refuse to look beyond the tax-free nature of SSY and PPF, and also the fact that there is like what 0.5 difference or nearly 1% difference between PPF and SSY. Of course, when it was started, it was very high, 9.4%. Let me check. I have some returns here. 9.4%, 9 percentage. Now it's dropped down, so that's because of the drop in inflation and so on. That doesn't matter. But there is a gap. There is like a 1% roughly gap between. I could be wrong. That doesn't matter. The point is that people they're obsessed with the tax-free returns of both PPF and SSY, and the higher return of SSY. And they say we should put more. We should maximize the benefits, and we should open both accounts if you have a girl child. And I mean, this is extremely wrong thinking, because so let's say I have a girl child. I have two priorities, and the first priority would be to after finishing school, the girl should enter a good college. I should be able to pay off all the expenses for that college, a UG degree. Then I don't care about others, but I will pay for the PG degree, and until at least that much time I need to support the girl, and then I'll have to worry about the marriage. I will plan for the marriage of any child, irrespective of gender, but generally in our culture, it is considered more important to plan for the expenses of a girl child. I'm not interested in debating about it, but that's how people are. And, who are we to argue one way or the other? So those would be the priorities. Now the problem is people who are so obsessed with that extra return, tax-free benefits, etc., etc. You can get ATCA savings also and so on, up to a maximum of 1.5 lakhs. All that is fine, but the real problem is inflation for college expenses is like 10, 12, 13% roughly. For marriage, it's even higher. And considering how marriages have become upgraded, there are more, I would say like 6, 7 expenses out of every 10 expenses associated with the marriage are unnecessary. But that's how they are. I mean, our marriages have become more and more and more expensive. We have popcorn machines in some marriages. I hate that. Why the hell do you have it? It looks like a carnival. Unnecessary. We have wedding planners and so on. It's so annoying, but that's how. So the even the simple marriage, the inflation that would be 10, 12, 13% roughly. Then there are add-on expenses that are coming in with every few years. Things are changing. The way marriages are being held is different. The core ceremony is the same, but the add-ons around it are scary sometimes. So for all this, both investing the maximum amount of money in both these will not help you fulfill the goal. You will have to spend from elsewhere. You will have to take an education loan, or you have to take a loan from elsewhere, or you will have to ask the child to pay for the marriage or whatever through our self savings, which is fine. But the point is, you will not be able to, if you have a target of funding your child's education fully, or if you have a target of funding your child's marriage fully, Let's not argue about the right and wrong about it. But if that's the target, considering the inflation in these expenses, it is impossible to achieve those. So even if you open the PPF and SSY immediately upon birth, the SSY has a lock-in of 21 years, and you won't be able to get 50% for the college. So you'll have to rely on the PPF. But you still need significant amounts of equity to handle the inflation. So my suggestion is go ahead and open SSY and PPF, but invest 60% uh, of the money into equity. So let's assume the goal is for both UG, PG, and marriage. For all those three goals, which are closely, the deadlines will be close. Invest 60% of the total money that you can invest for these goals in equity as soon as the child is born, preferably even before the child is born. That's how I started. And the rest you invest in PPF and SSY. You can tag PPF for college and SSY for marriage. That would be okay. You can use PPF part of the SSY amount. If you want, you can use part of the SSY for UG and part of it in PG, or the whole of it in PG, assuming you opened it immediately upon birth, because there is a lock-in period. It may not be available at the correct time if you delay the opening of the SSY account. So that's another big problem in it. So but do not put 3 lakhs in it every financial year. If you put 3 lakhs in it, most of us will not be able to put 60% in equity, assuming that 3 lakh is only 40% of the total amount which is invested. That's simply not going to happen for most people. Do not maximize investment in this. You will not achieve your goals. Inflation is simply too high. Tag them separately. Have different goals. You can use SSY as the debt component for a marriage goal, but I would suggest don't use it for education, because PPF anyway can be extended beyond the 15 years, and you can it will still hold. If you handle it properly, if you liquidate it properly, you should be able to manage it quite well along with equity. So don't do that. Don't get enamored by tax-free fixed income. The government wants that money. You will stay in the same place. You will never change your lifestyle. You will not be able to beat inflation if you get hung up on these schemes. So that's what I wanted to say. Let me know what you think. Catch you later. Bye bye.